Hey, what's up guys? We are back to number 23. As always, I am Jace, and if you haven't been catching us, go back and watch it and you'll see how this has developed. And although I try and stick to a format, it doesn't. But I am joined by, I will call him my compadre this week, numero dos. I'm not going to call you number one, sorry. But yo, Squeak, how's it going, mate?
Why am I not number one?
Because I feel like if I leave that number one spot available, you'll work harder.
Oh wow. Is that how it is? Is that how we show love and affection?
I just feel like there's always room for improvement. You never give somebody a 10 out of 10.
Wow. Just turn to our loved ones and be like, you're alright, but you're not that good.
You're not a 10.
Yeah. Improve on yourself. You disappoint me.
How's your week been, mate? You been alright?
I have been alright.
Just want to say that I quite enjoyed your editing on last week's edition. That was quite funny.
Okay.
Even when I left the drop for the prize, that was quite a joke.
Did you leave the picture? I didn't even see it. That's why
the funny thing is, no, I didn't. But it was already done.
The lies.
Apologies. Thing is, I have the maddest thing is I have the picture as well. Like
yeah.
But yeah. So what have you been playing this week, man?
I've been on The Division, Hitman come out, and Borderlands. Really.
Okay, quite a mix this week then.
Yeah. I normally I'm quite bad in a way because I normally only stick to one, don't I?
Yeah.
But yeah, The Division's alright. What we didn't talk about last week, but we should have, is the DLC content. Like the year one roadmap has been thrown out there.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't fully know what's in it, but
what are the highlights that you noticed?
They're gonna make the whole map the dark zone, so you should run into people wherever you go. But this is the thing, I don't know what the server limit is. Okay. So really, if there's 20 people running around on that map, it's gonna be quite rare you run into them, sort of thing.
So you should do it like Just Cause, like the Just Cause mod,
where it's like a bubble,
1,000 people on a server.
No, they should do it like Test Drive, if you remember, where it's almost
like instances.
Yeah, you had like your bubble, and then people would drop in, drop out, depending on distance away from you, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, they look like they're gonna have quite a bit of content. I mean, the other one I've seen is something like you go into the underground, so I'm guessing they're gonna expand on the subway system and the sewer system and stuff. So I reckon it should be alright.
Yeah,
it should last. They look like they might be having. See, this is the thing. I heard they might have, say, like large raids, like Destiny did.
Yeah.
So something along those lines. But whether that's a rumor or not, because they are putting in a sort of like end game sort of raids, but I don't know how many people are going to be in that.
Okay.
So.
See, I think it'd be cool with obviously with like the parties being quite small on there. I think it'd be quite cool if they had, because obviously a lot of people are going to have more than 2 friends to play the game with. Like if they had sort of like a clan. I don't want to use the word clan because the game isn't really got a real competitive mode to it. But it'd be cool if they had like a crew or whatever you could have, just so that it could be identified a bit more. Because there is that sort of thing where you can see 6 people and you assume they're all together, but they could just be 2 groups that met each other.
Yeah.
I think it would be cool if they kind of had something,
uniforms.
Because us in the Wolfpack's got quite a few members, and it'd just be cool, when we jump into lobbies on games and it says like Alpo or Clan Attack. But yeah, it'd just be cool if it sort of had that insignia there, so that people can kind of see like, they've, I don't know, say they shot up me, Hugsy, and Baked, say. And then, like, I've obviously said to you guys, and then, like, you, James, and Will turned up and shot these guys, like, they would realise that, oh, snap, there's more people from that same group.
Yeah.
But I thought that'd be pretty cool. Like you said, like, the Dark Zone, the risk and reward, I think the risk and reward is quite interesting in the way they've done it, because when someone's doing an extraction, you never know what they're actually extracting, if it's worth killing them or not.
Yeah. I think that's the thing. It isn't just because it's got like the PvP element into it.
There's not that much griefing.
Yeah, I don't think that's the main focus because you stand to lose a lot more than you gain.
Yeah.
Because you're not just losing, say, like your loot that you've got. You're losing like the money you've made, some of your rank, and in the Dark Zone you need to be like level 30 to use any of the stuff from the vendors.
Okay.
So, yeah, things like that.
Do we know what the level cap is on Division?
I think they're doing it sort of like Destiny. So
you get so high and then your gear levels up after that. Okay.
Yeah. Level 30 will be like a soft cap. Whether they'll raise that when the DLCs come and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think obviously that's the way. I did see a thing. I can't remember where it was. I read it, but they were saying like stop comparing the Division to Destiny. But it's one of those things where like,
it's really close to it.
Yeah, but the way that Destiny done it is, you had that level cap, but then they released stuff that increased your level. So I guess that's what gives the game longevity, doesn't it? Like, I've hit that cap because like we were saying the other day, James was saying about the game felt a bit short because he's almost done the campaign. But it's like, yeah, but James, like, you battered it.
That's
and, when it came out, you guys played like.
I played for over 2 days now.
And how long's the game been out?
It's only been out since Tuesday.
So, do you know what I mean? So it's one of those where you guys are putting a lot of hours, and I guess if for those people that do hit the cap and they do peak quite early, it just means that okay, when DLC comes out, I'm
ready.
Trudge on, yeah.
And the thing is, if I want, I can start a new character. Because the game's good. I would start a new character because even just walking around the streets is interesting. Like, you may not always run into like fights and stuff, but there's always stuff to sort of look at and see, sort of thing. So I just find it interesting.
Cool. So we're gonna go on to a bit of news. So I've been scouring the internet, the professional I am, trying to find stuff to talk about. Professionals, always professionally. And I was quite surprised that what's his name? With them being Japanese, I do struggle to say some names, but I think it's Masayasu Ito, who is the executive vice president of PlayStation. He has been found to have said the Oculus Rift has higher end technology than what PlayStation are developing in their VR section. So they basically come out and like admitted that their stuff isn't the best that they're producing.
Yeah.
But apparently he's saying like he's hoping that the thing that will make it more accessible is that obviously it's linked to PlayStation, but they're hoping it'll be easier to use.
Okay.
So he's just like, if you just talk about high-end quality, yes, I'd admit that Oculus Rift has better VR, but it does require a very expensive and very fast PC. The biggest advantage for Sony is ours works with a PS4.
I was going to say, I think that's what's going to make... it's that thing again with VR, isn't it? It's the accessibility of it. Because having at this high price point, you've already sort of limited yourself because people are going to go like, oh, I don't want to pay like fucking $1,000 for like a Virtual Boy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's the thing. I remember the price of Oculus Rift was like an absolute joke. But it's like looking at the headsets and the way that VR technology is like picking up. Have you ever seen Sword Art Online, Squeak, the anime?
Yeah.
I think it was a manga, but yeah, the anime for that. Like, I feel like we're getting closer and closer to nerve gear. Because it's one of those things where depending on... Say, for example, you've got so you're playing your PS, and you've got your PS VR on, but then you've got, like, your Turtle Beaches on, so you're completely, like, submersed in the experience. Yeah. Like, anybody can walk into your room and you just wouldn't know. Like, your house is being burgled, but, you're there walking around the mean streets of Manhattan.
Doesn't really matter, though. At least you got your PS4.
That's the thing, you don't realise you're being burgled until like suddenly it turns off. Like, huh? Like the headset off and just everything's gone and you see a guy just hot-footing it off with the TV and the PS4. But yeah, it's one of those things I feel like, it would be interesting to see because I'm still skeptical about the VR thing.
Yeah,
it's fun, but
I don't think
becoming mainstream, yeah.
One thing that looks good though is I don't know if it's really VR. I wouldn't really say it is the Microsoft's HoloLens, is it?
Okay, yeah.
like the weird thing is, I've not heard anything about that since.
That's the thing. That Minecraft demo was sick, but like
Yeah.
the thing is with a demo is it's basically scripting, isn't it? Like it's like any TV show or performance, so you never know how much of that is actually going to make it to the final product. But yeah, I remember that looked absolutely sick. The way that he was.
It was like magic.
Yeah, the way he changed the table into like
Yeah.
the map, and yeah, that was all pretty cool.
But again, you've heard nothing of it.
No.
But I do find with Microsoft's things like the Kinect, even like they use it for a lot more than just say like Xbox.
Yeah.
Like people have hacked it and used it for different things and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean?
I think so. I'm sure the connector was used. I swear, like one of not NASA, but some sort of
wasn't it used for like mocap?
Like, but there was like a space project. I can't remember what they done, but they made something like the rover, but it had like a Kinect camera on, but it was controlled with a PS controller.
Okay.
I swear it was like at one of the universities, but they made this thing that was set to explore lands where man could not. And then one of the things they said is that they combined stuff from Microsoft and Sony, which is pretty cool. I have to try and dig out that story from somewhere, because otherwise it just looks like I'm chatting rubbish, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you for being so honest with me. Your honesty does earn you brownie points towards that top spot, mate.
See?
Duly noted, alright?
And I should already be at the top spot. What is this?
Mate, it's a tough competition.
Jeez.
There are quite a few people heading for that top spot, mate.
Well, maybe you have got to work towards my top spot, buddy.
Who's my competition?
Shut up. That's who. Shut up.
So I've been reaching out to 2K, but we're such small fries. I don't think I'm going to get any response from the PR at 2K. But they've got that game coming out, Battleborn, which I think we mentioned a couple of weeks back, if not last week.
Yeah.
So there's been like a thing released. The guys at Digital Spy were invited to go check out parts of the game, and they got to play a 3v3 multiplayer mode.
Okay.
And it sounds quite interesting because I didn't like looking at the game and how it was played. I didn't expect it to look the way it is. So it looks like I said, it looks a bit like Borderlands, and with it being like first person and stuff. And there's different types of characters. Some of them do use melee weapons, some of them use guns, and yada yada. But like with this mode, it's part MOBA, part RPG, which I thought was interesting. So it's got like the 3 lanes. And then so it's like it's MOBA, first person shooter, and then you've got like a leveling up aspect to it as well, RPG wise. So it's one of those where like I'm just trying to think of like the best way to really describe it. So they're basically saying that you have to. Have you ever played like League of Legends? Have you seen the way those games are played? Yeah.
Yeah.
I know you're not a fan, but yeah. So you're heading towards the towers. You have to take down the towers, but you need to escort the minions to the towers because the minions take down the shield for the tower. Because otherwise, we cannot run up to it and attack it. We need to get our minions to it. So then the minions destroy the shield. We go and destroy the tower. Move on to the next one, and then ultimately you move back to the base.
Yeah.
But it's one of those where they've said that. Like, they got the command system, like on Borderlands 2 with the badass rankings. So as you're playing it, you rank up and get stuff through that as well.
Yeah, you sort of like boost your stats on a sort of thing.
You unlock character abilities, and obviously your command rank sort of goes up. So the higher your rank gets, the better perks you get with it. But I'm not sure if it will play like a MOBA in the sense of your character in this mode will start at level 1 and then caps at, say, level 30 as you're playing through. Because with MOBAs, everybody starts off with a basic character.
Yeah.
So they basically said that your, like, Jace based on 89, his rank will give all of my characters better perks. But I don't know if the character that I keep using, if that person will start on a higher level or not. I'm not sure. But yeah, there's 25 heroes in it. And it's one of those games where you're going to need to have communication and play with people you know. Because it's one of those that needs teamwork and coordination. Because again, I know you're not a fan of them. I don't know if you've ever played MOBAs, but you've heard Stein, and it can get pretty emotional.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's the thing with online games, isn't it?
Stein is a bit passionate when he plays his MOBA. I mean, he only plays Smite.
Yeah.
I can't imagine, like, if he was part of the League community, I feel like if he had a PC, he'd gone through like 50 keyboards.
Oh wow. I feel he'd have been like banned and stuff for like cussing people.
Yeah. The thing is, I wonder if like if Battleborn will be like if this game will be the one to bring in more people kind of to dip their toe into the MOBA genre because of the first person aspect to it.
Yeah.
Because obviously with stuff on the PC, you know, your MOBAs are generally top down, you're clicking around the screen, continually clicking the direction to go. Then with Smite, it's third person. But like with this, you know, it's gonna with it being first person, obviously you can choose the shooter, you can choose the melee character or whatever. But yeah, it's out just over a month. May 3rd it's out. May 3rd, why do I recognise that date? Is that my hand-in date? That's my hand-in date. Yeah. That's on the hand-in dates. And also, that's the weekend, that's just after the weekend we're away. There's a lot going on in May.
Yay.
But yeah, it's one of those where, like, as the game goes on, the more you die, like, the longer the match goes on, like, if you die, your respawn time just becomes, like, longer as well, which is something that happens in all MOBAs. I'm really intrigued by this game.
See, I'm kind of not.
The thing is, it's because it's made by the people, some of the team that had like to do with Borderlands, and it's 2K. That's what's kind of got me like, okay, this has a potential to be something.
To me, it's just the fact that, you know, teamwork. It's one of those games where.
But this is one of the multiplayer modes. Like I said, this is only one of. I don't know what the other ones are. This is one aspect to it. I don't know what the full game's like because it could have co-op campaign. Like Borderlands.
Yeah.
This
is
just
quite
one
true,
mode.
to be fair.
So yeah, it just kind of intrigues me that just the choice of a first-person shooter MOBA is interesting.
It'll be interesting to see how they implement it, like you say, with the characters and the stats sort of thing, and whether it'll be like your main character is your main. Do you know what I mean? And then like.
I think I might get on the emailings again and try and email somebody at 2K, but like, hi guys, please, can we do a review? Can we get a review copy, please, please, please?
You should tell them you'll suck them off or something if you do.
What if they try and cash that check in? I'm trying to build reliable, professional relationships.
Suck your way to the top, friend.
I might nominate you to do that.
Nah, that's not me.
Well, you obviously don't want that top spot, then, do you?
Well, I'm happy being below the top spot still. I'm not. Yeah, if that's what I gotta do to get to the top, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not willing to do that.
Oh, that's a shame. So for the last few weeks, there's been a running theme, and it keeps cropping up because it is the year of Pokemon. There's another thing being spoken about, like another project, so a new Pokemon mobile game, and apparently there's quite a focus on AI. So it's coming to iOS and Android, and it's being called Pokemon Co-Master. So it's a free-to-play game that, like, apparently will have some of the, like, capturing, training, and battling side of Pokemon. But there's, like, a big talk about, like, the Pokemon actually having artificial intelligence, and then really working on trying to make it so that the whatever character you have, whichever Pokemon you have, will actually react as an animal would, kind of thing.
Okay.
But yes, it's
really interesting.
It's really mad.
But wait, so that means like all the bird-like Pokemon will just fuck off, like just fly away.
It's just got a bunch of annoying Pidgeys that come when you throw breadcrumbs. And you've got like a Wingull that just like flies over, takes your ice cream, shits on you.
Chips. Bastards.
But the thing is, it'd be interesting to see. Obviously, Nintendo's been talking about doing mobile games, and I guess Pokemon's a big brand, so it'd be interesting to see kind of what they produce. Because again, Pokemon's been really good on, like, it's a mobile device game, isn't it? The console versions of the game don't do as well as when they have it on like the Game Boy or on the DS or whatever.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see how they go to mobile. I don't think they'd ever. This problem, I think, if they ever did bring out a fully fledged, you know, like Pokemon Red on the phone, I think it'd be absolutely screwed because there'd be microtransactions all over it. Because there isn't an app or a game for, you know, for phones these days that doesn't have that in there.
Yeah. Well, that's sort of how they survive, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, they EA you to death.
I just like that. Yeah, it just seems like obviously where it's been their 20th birthday, that they're coming in quite hard with their different projects, and I think they've done it quite well because it's been really quiet. Suddenly, yeah, now just constant news Pokemon every week. There's something different, which I think is quite cool. It's a good way to go.
I was gonna say,
Talking about things that you haven't heard from in a while.
Mm-hmm.
That Chuckle Brothers controlling Hitman. That's a good time.
Yeah. Like I said, that bit has been cracking me up. Hit her.
So yeah, as part of so Square Enix as part of the promotion for the new Hitman game that's come out. It's the Chuckle Brothers play real life Hitman, and was it they take down like a Serbian arms dealer or something?
Yeah, but
So it's not Barry and Paul actually suited up, bald head, barcode, but like they're in a command center and they're basically telling a hitman that they're seeing walk through. They're telling him what to do, and you just see a sinister side
of Paul. Shit. Barry's the innocent one in this. Like Paul's like put him in the shed, and then Barry's all like, but the shed's on fire. It's okay, we don't need him. Like, shit. Fucking hell. Calm down, Paul. Like,
this the bit where it's like, what was it like? Oh, fire her. You're fired. Get out of here. She starts walking off, and he's like, hit her. Hit her. She's gone. Hit her.
He really wanted her to get hit, like. Oh, jeez.
That's the thing. Some people, they can't vote with things like money. They can't be intimidated. Some people, Squeak, just want to watch a world burn.
But he's the kid's TV guy. I don't even know what to call him. He's not really a presenter, is he?
No. Oh, it's just, it's amazing. Because, they were on BBC, weren't they?
Yeah.
See, BBC, obviously, for our people across, they obviously know about the BBC, but over in the UK, that's like one of our main broadcasting channels. So we've got the BBC and ITV. Now, Squeak, I've read something this morning, and apparently there are talks of BBC. Well, apparently BBC has approached ITV about launching a joint streaming service.
Really?
There's something like the BBC are already planning to have like a streaming service in the US to celebrate British culture. So obviously we've got like our iPlayer and we've got our ITV player that give us shows for like a month, is it? Like 30 days you normally have shows for?
Yeah.
And they disappear, but I think that they're going to have something that is like an archive of content. So have you seen
So wait, they're basically BBC iPlayer.
Yeah, but one of the things where like stuff doesn't expire, because obviously if you say for example, I don't know, so me and Nicola and EastEnders, say we haven't watched it for weeks, like we can go back and watch like from a month ago and kind of catch up. But obviously if you haven't watched it for like 2-3 months, then there's going to be a load of stuff that you can't ever catch up on because it's gone. I don't think they're going to do stuff with soaps, but
I was going to say you can't archive that because there's so many.
The thing is, have you seen how the WWE's network works? Have you seen that? So they've got literally like it's constantly expanding and stuff to it, but I believe you can go back and watch like the origins of like WrestleMania. You can watch pretty much every pay-per-view that there's ever been. And I think if you can't, they are still adding. They add like all the documentaries, anything this video-wise of WWE, like old shows, everything is on there, part of the network. You subscribe to it and you can, we can go back and watch like Royal Rumble from '95 and stuff.
Okay.
So I wonder if they will take certain shows or certain dramas, not necessarily the soaps, because on, long-running soaps, like you said, what EastEnders has been from the 80s and it's been on at least 4 times a week for the last 20-odd, 30-odd years. So I don't think they're going to have the whole library of that. If they did that, that'd be insane, and it'd be interesting that we'll be reporting on the person that decides to make it their mission, me, to watch every single EastEnders episode. That'd be quite interesting.
That's really sad.
Hey, get me on the news.
Would it?
Yeah.
I don't think
Maybe
it
not
would.
Mainstream, but I'm sure it'll be reported somewhere.
Weirder news.
Huffington Post.
Oh, shit.
But yeah, I just thought it was interesting that obviously with the BBC, there's been issues with them in the past because in the UK we have to pay a TV license, and your TV license pretty much pays for the BBC not to have adverts. And there's been like a weird loophole going on where people haven't had TVs, so haven't been paying a TV license, but have still been accessing BBC iPlayer.
Okay, yeah.
So there's been a whole thing. I won't go into the politics of that, but it's interesting to see that the two main broadcasters in the UK, it'd be interesting to see what they did come together and bring. Because I guess they'd be able to have like
I mean, they've
all of the
both
Top
got-
Gears, for example, is something that people would want to watch.
Yeah, they've both got their own libraries, really, haven't they? Of I don't know.
Just watch this space. I think it's one of those things as well where it's, ITV and BBC have always been competition.
Yeah,
So to see them go,
I
let's
think
stop
it's
fighting
that
and
thing
join
as well.
forces.
There's always other options if you want to watch stuff. Then, like, I mean, will it be paid for?
I think it will be a paid subscription. I think it will be
Yeah.
a paid subscription service. The thing that's interesting as well is that it's one of those things where, go back to when we were kids, and all you had on the TV was BBC 1 and 2, HTV, and Channel 4. Then, a few years later they brought out Channel 5, and that was all we had. And then cable TV came out, satellite TV came out, and now we've got this digital, where you just got hundreds of channels.
Yeah.
And I guess this is their way to kind of, actually, we do need to step up more. Because how many BBC channels are there? Is there 4? Is there BBC 5? I think it's 4. I think even ITV has 4. And I just think it'd be, this is the next step, I guess. It's just logical.
Yeah.
BBC 3 is now an online-only channel. I haven't even accessed it since it came off of TV. Because it used to have a few interesting things with it, like a few cool documentaries, but yeah, it's just a bit weird, I feel. Have you seen the new mode coming to Rocket League?
Yes.
How do you feel about it?
I think it's going to be hard as fuck.
That's what I think.
No. I reckon if you're really good at Rocket League, you'll be fine, but I reckon it's going to be hard as fuck.
Because it's one thing to drive a ball into a rectangled space on a wall on the floor.
And that's hard enough.
But like the new mode is basketball. So you have to somehow get the trajectory up and then in.
The thing is, that like there will be people just slam dunking
Oh wow.
everything.
But how? How would they slam dunk in Rocket League?
Because you can fly, can't you? You can.
Yeah,
Use
but to
your
slam
boosters.
dunk you need to hold onto the ball.
You can do it. I know what you watch. Someone will do it.
Okay.
You watch. It won't be me.
They have to play when they do their highlight reel. They need to. I reckon when it comes out, like you'll open Rocket League and it will have like the theme to Space Jam,
Wow.
like the opening tune. Come on and slam if you want to jam. Yeah, I think that'd be a. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I jumped on there the other day, and it is still good to play. I decided to jump in a 4-on-4 because I'd never played it before, and that was quite fun. I jumped in, played the match. It was like 0-0. In the last minute, I think I scored 2 and assisted 1, and we won 3-0. I was like, that's cool. Went to the next game, and like 3 people from the other team quit. So
Yeah.
had
The
3
bots on
bots.
it.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, it was ridiculous. It's one of those where, like, when you play these games, you want a computer that can hold its own,
But
so that you don't feel outnumbered.
You don't want them better than players. Like
The thing is, it's rubbish for 2 reasons. It's rubbish because for the other team, playing against the bots and they're just like smashing it is annoying. But if you're on the team that has 3 bots, like, you're not seeing the ball.
yeah. Your bots are.
And it just depends on how much you want to win over how much you want to have fun. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
'Cause you can sit there and win every game, but like, what are you actually doing?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, you want to be the one to score, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to be like, oh my.
You can't message somebody being like, in your face, bitches, my 3 bots scored 4 goals each. You know? It just doesn't have the same effect.
It is. It's just, I don't know.
Oh,
They're just OP.
Speaking
OP
about
as fuck.
messaging, I was playing FIFA last night. It's been a while, but I got some hate mail. It's been a while. I can't remember what the guy said. It was something really wet, like about the game being scripted and something else.
Oh, I remember you
Yeah.
saying.
But it's just, it was quite nice because I feel like I've been getting so raged at FIFA recently. So to beat somebody and get hate mail just makes me feel good.
Well, it's that thing of you. As soon as whoever sends the first message has lost.
Yeah.
Everybody
The thing
knows
is,
that rule.
Do you find that, like, on Xbox One, it's almost like sending messages now is more of a hassle than it used to be? Like, on 360, I can't even think how we used to send messages on there, but I feel like on 360, we would be getting messages at least once a week, at least. You know,
Yeah.
like one of us, obviously the group's quite big, but like it'd be like Spree's getting a message on COD or me getting a message on FIFA. Or what was it that, because at one stage we even had you like being our secretary and just like messaging people. Like, oh, please send all hate mail to Squeak O. Do you remember that on 360?
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's,
is it one of those things where people have realised that actually sending the first message means you've lost? Or, yeah.
I
or what?
thought that was a common rule though. Like everybody knows it.
The thing is, sometimes just what I love though is when you'll send somebody saying "good game," because "good game" really shows a person's worth.
I swear I've had Stein say sending out messages. So
The thing is, Mr. Rage, we need to get him on the show. We need to do a show, and we need to have a section about gamer rage and meditation and keeping cool, because like we speak about him, and I feel like people just don't understand like what you actually experience if you like nobody is safe. Like you think like, oh yeah, have a go at his friends because they're his friends,
you know what I feel to
but like
do?
small children, he doesn't care.
You know what you gotta do? You gotta stream on Twitch and play the party chat.
Yeah.
And then have it like record it, and then
Yeah.
we'll make like a supercut.
Oh my days.
Stein Rage supercut.
It's just the way, like I say, like it's so funny because it got to a point where he became this mythical creature, because obviously when he's around the house it's Ricardo, like the kid's name is Ricardo, but Jada was shouting or something whilst I was on the headset. I was like, Jada, you got to stop shouting. She's like, why? I said, you're going to anger the Stein. If you anger the Stein, like he will come over and he will shout at you. And she's like, what? She's going to Nicholas. She's like, Mummy, is he going to do that? I'm like, yeah, he will. Like, seriously, don't shout. And then something happened on the game, and obviously you can't make out what Stein's saying, but when I take my earbud out and you can hear the voice like, for fuck's sakes, rah, 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 rah. I'm like, see, he's mad. She's like, is that the Stein? I'm like, yeah, that's the Stein. So I feel we need to get him some help before he does himself some like damage.
It's that thing though, like what
He's gonna give himself a stroke.
I can be in the kitchen and that isn't close, and I'll hear him through my headphones.
Yeah.
Like it's like really.
Like, you know, when so obviously when you got the pad on, you can't hear the voices through the TV anymore. But when your pad turns off, it comes back through the TV. So I'll pop out to, I don't know, go collect Nicola and the girls from gymnastics on a Friday. I've left my Xbox on. When we get back in the house, because the TV's on, we get through the door and I'll just hear Stein like just effing and blinding. I have to like dart in and mute the TV or turn the pad on. And Nicola's like, Ricardo again. I'm like, yeah. He's a raging machine. I do, yeah. I think it'd be interesting. The thing that's funny as well is that people, obviously the vast majority of people listen to this, don't know who Ricardo is. So when they hear his voice, they'll be like, huh? Like, this is the guy? Like, this well-spoken Barry White sounding motherfucker? This is the guy?
The angriest man alive.
Angriest man alive. Oh.
Every team he seems to get is the shittest team in the...
He is the first guy on this new generation of console to get banned, to my knowledge.
Yeah.
Because he used to have his Kinect on, or he'd jump in game chat to just be shouting at everybody on Smite because they're not retreating, or they're not attacking, or they're not capturing, or whatever. And it got to a point where, how long was his ban was a day, wasn't it? He found out he got banned for a day, and then James was playing Rainbow, called somebody an idiot for a message.
I was gonna say,
got banned for a week.
I was gonna say he was closely followed by your brother. Like...
Oh, so yeah, the ban hammer's been about. But when I reported bullying, Stein or Tiny, neither of them got blocked for. Because I figured that Stein would be at risk because he'd recently had a block.
At risk, you know.
I figured he'd be on like the higher profile list than the rest of us. He's already had the ban hammer waved. But yeah, so this week's WhatsApp. Last week I'd done the black box, and it's really cool because what I'm trying to do now is I'm trying to do a review on the podcast, but I've also written one down that I'm putting on our blog. And so with the black box, I tagged the guy that made black box, and he was like, "Thank you." It was really cool to actually get a response from somebody that's actually made something you're reviewing. I think it's quite nice.
Yeah.
Because then kind of, even if nobody out there, Joe Public, reads it, but for that person to see that they've done this piece of work, I've appreciated this is what I've said about it. I guess for them, it kind of reaffirms why they've done it. And then it kind of says to me that, yeah, actually, there is a point in me writing it, even if it doesn't feel like anybody's reading it. Which is cool. So yeah, so this week, I don't think I'll get a response from the creator of this one, because it's not, it's made by a big conglomerate. Is that the right word? So this week is Futurama Game of Drones. Have you seen anything of this, Squeak?
No, but
No.
I see what they've done there.
Well, it is nothing like what it sounds like. So basically, it's a puzzle game, and it is like so many other puzzle games. It uses a formula very similar, but not exactly like Candy Crush. On this, you join the Planet Express team. It does like a little comic and stuff in between the stages. And it's up to you to complete various objectives. So the way to do it, like I said, like many puzzle games, is linking 4 of the same color drone together. But
so it's like Hectic HD.
yeah. I think that's the one that
something.
it's most like, obviously. But with Hexic, you had like the rotating sort of thing.
Yeah.
With this one, it's just swapping the space of 2 of them. So all you have to do is link 4 or more together, but they don't necessarily have to be like in a straight line or anything like that in Candy Crush. But I guess it is like Hexic in fact, Hexic had to be groups, didn't it?
Yeah.
So like with this one, it can literally be like a zigzag line, as long as it's 4 or more, like that counts.
Okay.
And so yeah, like when you do that, more cascading and fill the space. It's like Candy Crush in the sense of if you fail a level, you lose a life, and I think you have a maximum of 5 lives. But once your 5 lives are up, you need to wait half an hour or whatever for a life to come back. So, it's one of those where if you lose all 5 lives, you have one of 2 choices: turn off and walk away, or bombard your friends with game invites in exchange for extra lives at the cost of losing friends on Facebook.
Walk away. Just walk away. No one wants those invites, and everyone will hate you.
The thing is with this game is when I was playing it, it is a solid game. It looks really nice. The Futurama side of things appeals to me. The color schemes is really good. In between levels, you're flying the Planet Express ship. What's it called? Like Old Bessie or whatever that got named in one episode. And you fly that sort of through space as you go through each stage. So if you go backwards stages and then go forward, it looks pretty cool. But that's just literally moving the levels. When you're in the game, it's just a basic, here's the screen. The colors are nice, but it doesn't really do much because you're just swapping pieces.
Yeah.
And it's one of those where I just kind of feel like with the game, it needs people playing it in order for it to be more appealing. So Candy Crush is already established. There's people that are like thousands of levels in. I don't know if they'll want to go back and play a Futurama game and start from the beginning when it treats you really babied and really basic at the beginning for like the tutorial and stuff. Because it's nothing new. But yeah, it treats you like you've never played a game like that before. Like there's no option to skip the tutorial. And then it's one of those where you can do the level, get 3 stars, but you're just beating computer AI scores.
Okay.
So like it's just one of those. So I put getting a maximum 3-star rating for a stage is cool, but nothing beats the feeling of reducing your mother to tears as you send her a screenshot of the high score she was so smug about while she was taunting your Aunt Jane, and you've just smacked it up whilst your family are sat at the dinner table. That is where Candy Crush, that's where its appeal is beating somebody's score that they've been so proud of.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Things like Trials. When you were like, yeah, beat this score, beat that score, and that's what makes it better. It's not necessarily getting through the level with the highest rank, but having the records. And if you've got nobody playing this Futurama game, you've got no one to compete with.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I heard that.
They've tried to add something a bit different. So in loads of these games, you tend to get power-ups that can do something on the screen at the beginning of the game. If you match 5 or more, you get special pieces that do, like some will like delete a whole line, some will do like bombs, and some will take away a specific color. But they've also got the characters have a move. So I think it's Fry. With Fry's, when you get his special up, you can press a block and it'll take away all the blocks of that color, which is pretty cool. I'm not sure what the others do because I haven't got that far into it. I've been playing it and been a bit stuck on one of the levels because you've got some where it'll be like get rid of so many of a certain color. There'll be like a pizza box that you have to get from the top down to the bottom. There's one where you have to make links next to, I think it's like empty Chinese food containers to get rid of those. So it's got a few things to it, but I feel like the thing that holds it back will be its popularity.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Because it is really nice looking, solid gameplay, but it's nothing new, and without people playing it, it doesn't really bring much to the table that will make you want to keep playing that game. I know, like with my mum and Jill, we were in a competition a few weeks back. Those two had like a bit of a rivalry. I don't know if it was a secret one. I just remember mum just being like, "Oh, Jill's passed me again," and she's on her Candy Crush trying to get past Jill again.
Well, if it was a secret, it's not anymore.
I'm just putting it out there now.
Yeah.
Because, those two are still in regular contact, so I might see my mum next week and be like, I'm not talking to Jill anymore. And I'll be like, why? You what? And I'd be like, why? She goes, no, because of ÜWatt. And then, yeah. So that'd be interesting to see if that goes down. But yeah, so with Game of Thrones, I gave it a 6 out of 10 watts.
Does it have the Game of Thrones theme music to it?
No. Nope.
Oh.
Nope, it's got the Futurama theme. But I just felt like I said, it's a solid game, looks really good, but it's one of those where like moving between levels looks amazing, especially on like on a mobile device. I feel like if they could have incorporated that somewhere into the game a bit more, or like even had like dynamic backgrounds whilst you're doing the puzzles, maybe.
Yeah.
Could have made it look a bit better, but yeah, without having the people behind it, it's just not going to go anywhere really. They got all the things where you can buy the special moves and stuff for like £1, but yeah, who's going to want to spend the money on it when there's no competition? You're just doing it for your own satisfaction. But what satisfaction is there when you're not? You know, us humans, we thrive off of being better than other humans.
Do we?
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
Like I said, you were on trials going back and beating my old scores. Did it not fill you with triumph and glee?
No, because I only beat one of them.
But when you beat it, did you feel a bit of joy?
I wasn't that.
You were
bothered.
quick to text me. Oh, like I beat your score.
Yeah, because I thought you'd jump on it and then you get back on it. I'm not gonna lie. I was being the enabler. I was trying to feed.
See, that's the game that we used to bring up my
addiction.
game of rage, isn't it? That was the game. But no, I'm okay at the moment. Squeak, have you got a question for the listeners this week? I'm kind of giving this to you because I feel like you're cracking with them. I haven't really got anything.
Ooh, I don't know. Have I? Okay. Seeing as we was on about Battleborn and it being a MOBA, what kind of character would you be? What would your cooldowns be and stuff like that?
Okay. So if you had a character in a MOBA,
so
what would your specials be? What would they do? And how long would the cooldown have to be for each move?
I'd be a fat man, and I'd be a tank. I don't know what my actual.
I think a Pokemon MOBA would be quite interesting. Because when you said about being a fat man, I just thought of a Snorlax.
Wow.
Do you not think that'd be cool in the MOBA, having a Snorlax?
Are you trying to say that I'm fat and sleep a lot?
You said you'd be a fat man. That's what you said.
Hey, I'm allowed to call me fat, buddy. You can't call me fat. You've got to call me like a larger gentleman.
I'm trying to encourage you to make lifestyle changes.
Oh, really?
So there you go. If you had to make a character in a MOBA, what would your special moves be and what would their cooldowns be? That'd be quite interesting to see what people come up with.
Yeah.
Cool. You got anything else for the people? Do you want to give any shout outs? We haven't done shout outs for a while.
Well, I never do.
I'm gonna get right. This is really cool, right? Let's say really cool. I don't want to mock too much. I found it quite funny, right? So Nicola came home the other day saying that somebody at work's like, "Oh, I'm gonna start a podcast and call it ÜWatt, mate," right? And Nick's like, "Okay, whatever." And they're like, "Yeah," and then I'll have this person on, this person on, this person on, and then like Jace and Squeak will have all their friends and they'll be on my show. And she's like, okay, like, waiting. And yeah, so it turns out Tony's been listening each week, and he feels he has not been getting the gratitude that he deserves. Well, Tony, as an avid listener, I do appreciate you listening to the show, and I do thank you for being involved in conversations on the Facebook. And mate, one week we'll have you on. You know, why not? We will book you on. All you need is Skype, so we'll get you on. But I just wanted to, I haven't done shout outs for a few weeks, so I'm going to give it out to, I think he calls himself Tony Cartel on Facebook. But yeah, Tony, shout out to you, mate. You can, if you want to be on the show, all you've got to do is ask. You don't need to be at work sending shots.
Wow.
Pew pew. Everybody go and die. So yeah, as always, guys, catch us on various mediums. We're on Twitter at @uwatt_. Catch us on Facebook, facebook.com/uwattpodcast. We're on Podomatic, uwatt.podomatic.com. Catch us on youtube.com/uwatt. We have our blog, which is uwattmail.wix.com/uwatt. If you want to send us an email, get at us, uwattmail@gmail.com. As always, ÜWatt is spelled UWATT.
Get at us, yeah.
Get at us.
That's some fighting talk.
Do you know? I want.
Why are you trying to fight people, man?
I I'll take hate mail. I'll take anything. You know, we've got Kendall who's been going back through the archives, because on YouTube, obviously, on Podomatic, because we're non-monetized, we're not making any money, so I'm not paying for a subscription on Podomatic, so we only have like the most recent 5 to 10 episodes. But YouTube has everything, and Kendall's been going back and commenting on stuff, and I feel bad because I want to respond to it all, but I don't have anything witty to say back, so, you know, I want more people, again, I want to get to a point where Kendall writes something and somebody else speaks to Kendall that's not us. Do you know what I mean? I want to start to build a community. But
yes.
Yeah, we're at risk of breaking 45 minutes. I think we might break 45 minutes. Do apologise, guys. But we always keep it under an hour, unlike other podcasts. So.
Ooh, is that shots fired?
Pew pew! You got podcasts over an hour? Get at me, dog. ÜWattmail@gmail.com. So, as always, I've been Jace. He's been Squeak. And we'll see you next week.
Later.